Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, we have a different kind of a program here today. This is serious stuff. Today I've got Dick Armisher and I've got JW, and they're going to talk to us a little bit about a real situation in your home if you have home charging. So first off, I'm going to ask Dick to just give you a little background and how he got involved with this, and then we're going to pass it over to JW, and then JW is going to give you a little background, tell you a little bit about himself, and then we're going to dive into something that everybody should know about if you have a home charger. So Dick, why don't you kick it off?
Well, I'm a mechanical engineer. I worked many years for General Motors, a powertrain, and also in racing. Really have gasoline in my veins, but 2019 I bought a Tesla Model 3 and I needed home charging, and ran into JW here who did my home charger installation, also with a second meter because of the way DTE here in Michigan works. And I've maintained communication with JW over that time, and he's told me about some of the things that he's found here, and I told Sandy, and JW wants to talk about him.
My name is JW. My background is in industrial manufacturing and automation controls. Through the years, I've learned the exposure of high current failures and potential dangers that present itself if not properly installed. Moving forward through the years, I've went on my own business as an owner-operator. I'm a master electrician. Our background also enables technology, construction as well. So moving forward into the EV business, back in 2018, when it was still coming out of the ground, I suited up with the utility company here locally, and also some other car manufacturers on their sites. So now we're installing car chargers in people's homes. We're installing people's chargers in the front of their house, and also at their commercial buildings. So through the years, we have discovered failures in products, and none of the equipment that we are installing says EV rated, but the manufacturers say it's comparable to installing the equipment for EV chargers.
Well, I'm after seeing this, I'm a little bit concerned. So what you've got here, this is a breaker. This is a 60 amp breaker, and this is the housing that goes inside your box. So normally what I'd expect when I come take this thing to pieces is nothing. It shouldn't show anything, but when I saw this puddle of melted plastic, I became slightly concerned. This is not what you're supposed to see. There's no way in hell that the breaker should have kicked out. It didn't. It basically is glued inside each other now. This is almost like it, well, you can see it was welded, and now it's kind of like I broke it free, but this is not good. And JW has definitely scared the living daylights out of me with some of the stuff that he's been bumping into, fire after fire after fire. These are not happy situations that JW is going to show us, and quite frankly, like I say, well, I'll let you do the talking. I don't want to. I can't hardly believe my eyes. Go ahead.
So this is a product. There's many manufacturers out there, and on the home centers, that's where a lot of these are not, by the way. This product I'm showing you is from like a. This installation here was off of a Porsche Taycan mobile charger. The plug was never pulled out and recessed. It was a fixed charger. So 8 months later, he called me up and said, I've got a problem in my charger. It's only charging 4 amps now as opposed to 32. So I immediately knew, because I've been becoming more exposed to the failures of the plugs, what the situation was. And I asked him, is there any odor or smoke? He says, I smell a small, faint odor of something burning. I said, okay, go ahead and shut it off, and then I'll be there as soon as possible. And I was there with it the next morning. So I pulled out, and then we came across where the actual thermal event was happening on a electrical conductor side, the hot side we call it. And this is where you can see the orientation. The plug was, so it was melting, overheating, and it just dripping down. Now to me, this is a minor event. I've seen worse where the actual plug has been fully 100% compromised, where it's just fully melted, or yeah.
Melted, yeah.
Melted is the word. So all the installations, this one, so I knew of these, the high current failures that are very possible. I would say I installed through the years since 2018, maybe less than 20. I knew of the failures. I stayed away from them, the possibilities of failures. So, but they're always close to me with monitoring their condition. So, because I just knew these things could not handle the long-term heating process of an everyday charger with these EVSEs. Now, granted, you got to keep in mind, people are still learning how to charge their cars, so they're charging their cars every time they come to work. So these things are exercised every day until they finally become satisfied they can actually do 4 charges per week or per month to give them a full charge for their whole travel for the month. Yeah. So once they get over that learning curve, then they realize they can scale back and just charge once, on the weekend or every Wednesday. So, and that satisfies their travel needs.
Well, but for some, but for others, I mean, you're charging all night so that you can get back and forth to work.
Right.
Now, and the other thing is, I don't charge to 100%. Never. It's hard on the battery. So I cycle from 20 to 80. My Rivian, if it gets to 80, just okay. The plug might be in the car, but nothing happens. It's just sitting there resting. But these things, like you said, it says right on it. This is for what do you call it? Flush mount range outlet. Okay, this one here is still in the bag. This does not say this is good for, and this says 50 amp, 125 volts. So this is not. I think we've got a little bit of a problem here. I could be wrong, but this doesn't strike me as being something that's going to have a 100% duty cycle. And if that's the case, and we're using something that's good for your dryer, but maybe not for your car, then maybe somebody should start waking up and getting involved. And by the way, these ones, okay, these are kind of concerning. He's got several of them here that and it doesn't matter which brand you look at. Although you said there's one that it's Bakelite, right?
Hubble, we believe, is Bakelite. It's a lot more money, though, so people don't tend to choose it because of the price difference.
Well, I'm telling you what, when I get home, I don't know which, I think I've got mine as a direct line, but I could be wrong. That's your best bet anyways. I don't see a reason for putting a second plug in, so if you've got a situation where somebody says, oh, well, we'll just put in a plug, maybe you want to have it direct connect, and then maybe you don't get a problem. But Bakelite is an old-fashioned kind of plastic that doesn't burn. It doesn't melt or burn. But it's old and expensive and slow process. But even with these kinds of products here, and like I said, it feels greasy enough to be made out of nylon, and that's fine. That's a good underhood temperature. But for good underhood temperature products like intake manifolds and whatnot. But when I'm doing an intake manifold on a car, and I know that it's going to be having to pass a Phoenix test, I'm not even going to think about it. It's going to have a fire retardant in it. It's going to have maybe glass, but for sure I'm going to put talc in it. These don't feel like that. So I don't know what these are made out of because there's no markings on it. And we don't have time for doing the check-in and whatnot, but I can tell you right now that if it was up to me and I was going to put something in, I definitely wouldn't put in the $15 one. I'd be looking at the one that's $100 because you know what? Burning your house down, and that's where we get to this. Burning your house down could be a real problem. Some people don't like that when your house burns down. Yeah?
One other thing about the 1450, Sandy, is I know owners that they never went to a purchased wall charger. You know, they're simply using the mobile charger that they got from the manufacturer when they bought the vehicle. So they need this in the house because the mobile charger
I didn't even think of that.
has the plug, the pigtail on the end of it. And they're simply, and they may just be leaving it in the garage, but they also may be pulling it out, putting it in their frunk, and taking it with them when they go on a trip. And they never actually put a hardwired or a wall-mounted plugged charger on that stays plugged in.
Okay, so I did not do that. I saw those things and I looked at them and I thought, well, you know, you roll the bones, and I'm not really. I make bets, but I don't gamble. Okay, so that's kind of like, and if I make a bet, I know I'm going to win. With this, I forgot all about that. That just shows you that maybe I'm some kind of elitist or something, but I didn't even waste my time. I bought a Tesla wall charger and stuck it on, and away it went. So I'm thinking direct, but this thing. Okay, so let's go to the next level, which is that junction box, which really terrified me when I saw this.
So this is a yeah. Go ahead. Thank you. So this this was installed for a charge point home flex charger. The installation went in about 13 months ago. Everything was working really well. I get the phone call from a customer saying they opened the garage door, went in for work, and they had a big smoke event in the garage from this device. So basically what happened, overheated, and then, so I'll show you the failures.
Yeah, but let's go first.
Okay.
This is a junction box, okay? This is a junction box. This is not a connector. This is something a lot more dramatic because if you can't shut this damn thing off, then it just keeps on pulling electricity. So now this is what this was. You said somebody's. Your first one was some lady
Porsche?
that the Porsche. So I don't think I'd like to have my Porsche catch on fire, and I definitely don't think I want my garage or house on fire. But this is at a different level. This really scares the lights out of me. So
again, so this job here was approved by the local city inspector. After that, the job was green stickered and it was working really well. So then I'll get my gloves out. So this thing is nasty. So this product here was in use in the garage, just close to the EV charger, the charge point. Charge point charger is a great charger, worked well. But so it came in, I opened it up slowly to see what failed because we had smoke already, smoke was already done, but it marked the wall. So I got it. Anyway, so this here.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know what that was, it didn't look like that originally. And I'm telling you what, I have been in, I've had a number of houses, I've done houses, I have never seen anything come out looking like this. I mean, this is just so nasty, I cannot believe my eyes. This used to be the cover plate and the connector. And you can see that this has had a bad afternoon. I really don't understand how this could possibly happen. All I can tell you is that we need some people to start looking hard at how these installations are and whatnot. I'm telling you, I've just never seen anything like it. Never.
You can see how the heat is pitting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look at the trail. It
Yeah,
just
that's
never
your
stopped.
wires.
It
Yeah.
just never stopped.
Well, it wouldn't shut off. I mean,
Yeah.
this is
You got 60 amps cranking through of heat.
60 amps is a lot of.
It's a lot of heat.
That's a lot of heat. So the whole deal here is that Monroe and Associates, we try our best to tell you what's going on inside cars and stuff like that, inside the electric vehicles. What we haven't done is looked at this type of a situation where this is going from your house to the car. And now I'm starting to wonder about, you know, some of these fires that people have had, and they instantly blame the Tesla or the Bolt or whatever that caught on fire. Now I'm starting to wonder about it. I'm starting to wonder if what we've got here isn't rated or ready for the EV marketplace. And I can guarantee you, after looking at what I'm seeing here with these little connectors, this is not the. This should be used for a dryer, and that, I can see. I mean, I've done. Maybe what we need here is another connector, and maybe the Bakelite one. What would you say that name was?
Hubble.
Hubble.
And there's one other brand, I think that.
That was the Bryant brand.
Yeah, that's actually made by the same company.
Yeah, yeah. But putting in a $15 connector, $100, get the. And by the way, the reason that JW is here is because he knows what the hell he's doing. He's certified, he's gone to school, he's got all his journeyman tickets, he's got the degrees and whatnot to make things right. Don't let your brother-in-law, who read a book one time, install these things. This is a new age. Okay, putting in for a dryer, like I said, it's not that difficult. But putting in for EVs, we have to start thinking about we got to start thinking about these kinds of disasters and this was done by an electrician. This isn't probably the electrician's fault. This is a 100% duty cycle when this is probably rated for a 10% duty cycle, I would guess. How long's your dryer on? Once a week and for an hour or something? Probably not even 10. So we have to have stuff that's going to be EV rated that goes into your house. Now, why did we do this? How many years you been kicking this can?
3 years.
3 years. And
3
how
years.
many people have listened?
Nobody.
Yeah. So maybe, just maybe, there'll be some folks that are in the right position that can make something happen. But I know that if that right person is interested in examining this stuff and talking to the expert, then we'll put JW's information on the bottom here, and you can contact him directly because I'm not smart enough. Okay, so JW, you just handed me your wish list. Can you kind of like run through that quickly so that maybe this will be a starting point for the people who can make something happen, make it happen. So go ahead.
Yep. So this has been put together through my experience installing and also seeing other people's failures on local social media boards. But my main concern is I would like to see a load center built with a separate lower location of the for EV breaker only, and the breaker itself has to be specially designed for EV only, so it understands the robust power and current flows that goes, so it reduces the failure.
And you got a little picture there. Why don't we just flip that around?
Yeah, they can take
so
that page.
yeah. Oh, okay. All right. So
I can work off of this one here.
So what he's talking about is, so this would be your main junction box. So you're probably going to have like a 400 amp service or something like that. And then down here, you've got yourself the separate circuit that's going to go for an EV. So all the rest of the stuff is made for light bulbs and maybe your dryer. This is going to be for a constant duty cycle, a 100% duty cycle that it should have.
And that would be a bolt-on circuit breaker.
Yeah.
So again, we'll start from the top. First thing, redesign the power panel coming forward because EVs are here to stay. They're not going away. So this will be implemented right away. Custom build a circuit breaker that's robust for the EV current only. All products for EVs shall be bolt-on, no snap-ins like this here. Where's the snap-in product? This is a snap-on product here. And this is a snap-in too, as we're pushing a plug into a receptacle. Same consideration. Circuit breaker stacking in power panels or load centers. So basically, what to minimize that to 40 amps max, we don't want to stack these 100% duty cycle breakers in between existing house loads because the heat has to go somewhere. So it's going to go load shared to the circuit breakers and also to the bus. I've seen two to where it's actually compromised the bus and also had thermal event on shared or neighboring circuit breakers.
So this circuit breaker could actually affect the rest of the house.
Yeah, it could shut down your whole panel.
Yeah.
Compromise the whole panel 100%.
And if it compromises the whole panel, then you could have like a major event, which just means your house burnt down.
Yep. Yeah. So then this product here should be delisted or banned for EV chargers from this failure points I've seen. And then also on the NEC side, I would like to see them move the continuous rating. Currently it's 125% of the value to move it to 130%. That would give it additional thermal properties for reduction of heat, load or heat sharing, or BTUs, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about here. So circuit breaker should be a knife, like a commercial unit.
A knife disconnect.
A knife disconnect, yes. And then for the condos and for the apartments, this is where the HOA managers and the property managers need to stop and think about this and do some research to where you've got complexes that have 10 apartments per building or plus, and now you're going to add a car charger to that unit. So they would install through Wallbox, which they got a nice management system. Yeah. They have this management system that goes between the EV charger and the power box. So what happens is it's called load management. So let's say you're charging your vehicle and all of a sudden your air conditioner kicks on, you decide to turn your oven on, and now you got a high load capacity going through your power panel. And what this device does, it monitors that setting, and then it would shut down your EV car charger to where it allows the house priority to maintain while being used. And then once it's switched off, it'll go back to turning on your charger to charge the vehicle. But and then the other one is mounting of the equipment. So this should be on a fire-rated wall. I would not recommend mounting this directly to a rough surface, unfinished garage wall.
Yeah.
And then also basically on the electrician side, we're always asked to fill in the holes. There's mounting holes, and there's other manufacturing holes to just fill them with fire stopping to stop the event of oxygen draw during an event. So that's it. And then again, we always use we recommend always using a torque wrench to torque wrench settings. All torque wrench settings torque specs are on the actual product or on the instructions of the manufacturer. It actually is a code item to where you have to spec it out and tighten down the fastener to the wire. That's really about it.
So the one thing about torque, I used to be I was for a while, the co-captain for sealing and fastening for Ford powertrain. And the reason we went to torque monitoring was so that we knew that the clamp load would be proper. Just taking a screw or a screwdriver and reefing it down by hand really doesn't tell you much of anything. So if you've got some older guy or maybe a 90-pound person screwing it down, you're going to get one torque. If you have someone else doing the job, and they're baby gorilla kind of person, they're going to give you a different sort of a clamp load. If you crush the wires too much, that's bad. If you don't crush the wire enough, it's too bad. One of the things that I liked about some of the connectors are you shove them in, and but not for these. These are big. These are not. These should all be torque monitored, and that means that you've got a little bar, and when you click it down, it'll either crack, it'll make a cracking noise, or or it'll have a gauge, which is even better. I'm a big fan of electronic torque monitoring, so that's the best you can get. And that way you know that the job has been done the way it was engineered to be done, not or that seems okay. That one's going to give you arcane, and the other one will squirt the will squirt the wires to pieces. So anyway, I'm glad this is very handy, very helpful to get people started. I do think that this has to be looked at, and some of these things have to be marked. Don't use this for your EV. And if this is happening here, I'd like to know a lot more why that happened than anything else. Is that gap?
Yeah, it's supposed
No,
to be.
it didn't arc because it would have blasted the copper bright. So yeah. I don't know what's going on. All I can tell you is somebody smarter than us, somebody in the right stripes needs to get involved. And I'm going to shut it down now. Thanks very much for watching. Like I say, this is a little different, but I think it's kind of really, really important that we don't ignore this stuff. 3 years? Are you kidding me? Anyhow, thanks for watching, and we'll be back at you in a while. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. Bye.